I have always had a fascination for the natural world and an aspiration to comprehend it. If we go back in time, we notice from its origin that our curiosity is essentially what science is all about, getting to know how the ecosphere works. It is interesting to discern that with time, nature has been undermined and thought of as the antonym of technology. But contemplate it for a second and ask yourself, is science indeed beyond nature? We've grown exponentially since the 1990s and will continue to do so, but that doesn't imply we are the most unconventional individuals, which is impossible to affirm, considering we know only one of the planets from the zillions there are in the universe. It was in 10th grade when I arrived at the conclusion that life is a mystery, after visiting the Egyptian temples and the pyramids of Giza. The constructions were stunning, and it was just astonishing to perceive their magnitude and perfection. I'm not sure how all of these monuments that we wouldn't be able to construct today were created back then. Every single column had the same circumference. Every single column had drawings carved in it. Every single column was perfectly spaced out. This experience was as visiting another planet. Imagine if we got to understand how these Egyptian sites were created. How much would we progress just by using this treasure of ours? Let us then think about nature. Isn't it even more shocking? Nature, in comparison to the pyramids I was talking about, has brought about life. Although we are mindful that trees are alive, they can be no more than insignificant organisms. We do not realize that all of this time we've had a genius beside us. And I am not alluding to Albert Einstein, but to the environment. What is design? Making appealing drawings or structures? No. Design is generating the preliminary sketch of a work we'll make, but taking into account how it will function and what is its purpose. A designer is anyone who participates in a product's design stage, meaning that anyone can aid in a product's creation, and that designers do not have to carry the weight of the design world on their own. Going back to the effectiveness of mimicking nature, we find that it provides models for us, so that our ideas flawlessly work out. This may sound extremely complicated, when actually we mimic nature in our everyday inventions. Have you ever thought about why planes have two wings? Is it just a coincidence, or is it the resemblance of a bird? For the exposed reasons, having a sturdier design in our world is conceivable, and not ideal, by employing biomimicry, a method of design that takes nature as its ultimate guide. Biomimicry is in simpler terms an interpretation of Muhammad Ali's float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. It is obvious that man cannot float nor sting, but man can definitely mimic a butterfly's wings, study them, as well as a bee's toxins to make more efficient products. In a world reigned by industries that bring about negative externalities, it would be wonderful to take organisms that satisfy all of their necessities without harming their ecosystems as our examples. That's why we have a boundless compromise to develop sustainably, and biomimicry is facilitating the process to achieve it. Thereafter, it is also the form in which designers will save the modern world. Currently, design's job is viewed as that of creating new artifacts in a creative way, where creativity is seen as making something up from nothing. However, this is an erroneous ideology, for imaginative geniuses use templates, and using them allows them to be even more innovative. For example, Agatha Christie, a novelist who wrote over 60 successful books, followed a similar template in all of them, which allowed her to structure her thinking in a way that made her more creative. This is called systematic inventive thinking, because innovation follows a set of patterns that can be reapplied to any product, service, or process. In biomimicry's case, the templates are established by nature, Such a fact is an even vaster answer as to how we should design, for it accordingly augments our imagination. Biomimicry does not only embrace resourcefulness because it uses the tools as nature available to us, but it is also a step farther in the ladder of sustainable development. Sustainable development is that which ensures that the present generation meets its needs without compromising the ability of future ones to do so. Likewise, it is a table with 3 legs, which are social equity, eco-efficiency, and economic prosperity. It establishes for so that businesses shouldn't stop, but that they should instead work in accordance with nature and have a positive social impact. Let's break this up to the individual parts. First, biomimicry ensures that we are eco-amicable because it values the mind different species possess. Besides, it is a less risky way to create, in which thousands of trials do not have to be made before obtaining the final product. So, it is also eco-efficient, for it reduces the amount of wasted material. Nature uses only 5 polymers, and by mimicking it, we can reduce the number of polymers we normally use, 350. To clarify, polymers are chemical compounds composed of many identical monomers, which are smaller molecules. Additionally, it will allow for the manufactured goods to have a grander performance. For instance, it was possible to quiet the bullet train and make it go 10% faster on 15% less electricity by emulating a bird, the kingfisher, which enters water without making a splash. Second, biomimicry assures economic prosperity because it requires materials in lower quantities, which guarantees a drop in the cost of production, meaning enterprises will be more profitable. Third, biomimicry has a positive social impact because it unites us by making us work together, no matter what field we belong to, whether we are engineers, architects, or actual designers. This all shows that biomimetics is a field in which we should invest, for it won't only allow for products that are eco-friendly and generate less waste, but also for new industries with lower costs and higher productivities. Up to now, anyone may say biomimicry is ideal and just a dream. I would like to introduce then some of the advances we have achieved with it. We have been able to use carbon dioxide as a building block in several cement companies, and to sequester it as some organisms do instead of emitting it. We are able to use the Galapagos shark, which has no bacteria on its surface thanks to denticles, as a prototype, to develop a medical technology for hospital surfaces. It actually worked better than antibacterials because organisms tend to become drug resistant. As for the present time, we are starting to desalinate water by using aquaporins, or protein channels, instead of tons of electricity. And scientists are imitating capillary action and tree transpiration to pull up water in buildings without having to employ pumps. As you may notice, I'm just a normal 11th grade student who doesn't yet know everything there is in the design world. That's why my TED group interviewed Camila Giraldo, a TEDxColegioBolivar alumni who is now in her 6th semester of her design career in Universidad de los Andes, located in Bogotá, Colombia. Camila told us that it was during 2nd semester in the Product 2 class that she was taught about the concept of biomimicry. She said that it is ironic to know that even though nature is a means of inspiration to make creations and evolve, we destroy it. And afterward, when asked how the world should be designed, she answered, "I believe all areas of knowledge should attain to observe the environment that poses the solution to many of humanity's greatest challenges. However, to achieve it, we must first generate conscience about the importance of ecosystems and organisms. After achieving this, biomimicry would be the method to lead us to a better future. Camila, an undergrad with a 6-semester experience in design, has decided to believe, like us, that biomimicry will allow designers to save the world, and is the method we should today employ. In conclusion, biomimicry will embrace resourcefulness, creativity, the sustainable development of our precious planet, and it will keep alive our desire to comprehend the mystery of life. It will ponder all forms of existence and make us integral human beings who recognize that the environment is inspiration and a master. That is why biomimicry has the potential to be the savior of our modern world and is a mode of design we should all adopt. Thank you.